Good Friday to everybody. This is Weather Pops with you here today, and going to be the next week or so weather update. And we've got some interesting weather happening today, and going to be extending on for the next probably 8 to 10 days. I have looked all the way out to April the 8th to take a look at the forecast for the eclipse and through the central United States. I actually live in Indianapolis, and so now I'm going to be right in the heart of where that eclipse is going to take place. And there's going to be a front out to our west on the 7th. And so right now the forecast models are not going out to the 8th. So it's going to be kind of one of those things where it's going to be close, I think. I think we're going to get to see it, but we're going to have to take a peek. It's not a real strong front that's out there. So hopefully the overcast and the clouds and such will be around will not interfere with that very cool meteorological and astrological event that day. I can remember the last eclipse that we had. It was a partial eclipse, and I was at the fire station when that happened, and it was really cool to see everything kind of turn a weird color. And I think it was only about a half of an eclipse for us, but it was really kind of cool. So let's take a look at the maps that are coming up. And so what we've got is we're going to take a look at the GFS, and this is the United States model of the GFS. And this is kind of as of today sometime. It's going to be, let's see, 12Z, so it's about 5 o'clock this morning is when this map would have been accurate. So as we kind of scroll out a little bit from what's going on to see what the next day or two is going to be. So as we scroll on today, we're going to have a little bit of rain in southern Indiana across the mid-south and deep south. Southern Florida could get some thunderstorms today. I don't think they're going to be severe, but there could be a lot of lightning with them. And as we progress through the day, there could be some hit-and-miss showers across the Midwest. And then the East Coast is going to get a lot of rain this afternoon. Up in Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, in that area, a lot of snow going on right now. So this front has come through, and it's creating a lot of snow. And as we look across Montana, North and South Dakota, maybe part of Idaho, there are some additional snowfall up there. I don't think it's going to be heavy snow. Looking at a couple of inches maybe up through that area as we go through the next 24 hours. But as we progress up, you can see that actually up on the area of the New England, there's a really hard line there that's going to be between the rain and the snow, and maybe some freezing rain and stuff there along the coast. But we've got another front coming in off of California, going to increase the snowfall across that region out there with Montana and Wyoming and such. And if you look right here, that is a pretty strong low at 993. Winds are going to be pretty strong there too, as this is going to attempt to pull up moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico to interact with this front. So as we look a couple of days in advance, this is going to be on the 24th. And as we progress on, I'm kind of concerned about the 26th potentially being a significant weather day. It just depends on the amount of CAPE, amount of moisture, amount of dew points, a lot of things going on during that time frame. But I want to keep my eye on this because there are some changes coming. So as you see that low is deepening, that went from a 993 to a 977 in just about 24 hours. So that's strengthening. It's got a little bit of a positive tilt starting to it. This moisture is starting to come up through there, and you can see the rain out in front of it. So as we look to the 26th, this is still the 25th, there's still going to be some rain, still going to be some snow that's created on the backside of it through the Dakotas, up into Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. And we're even getting some snow back down into like the Four Corners region, Colorado, possibly the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma. But as you can see, as we reach the 25th at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so maybe this has moved up just a little bit, but the 25th, and now we're starting to get into the 26th, late the 25th, early the 26th. So there's going to be something to keep our eye out on. I think that day 3 and day 4 coming up are going to be some significant weather probabilities. And so I want us to just keep our eyes out on those. The National Weather Service has actually got some weather alerts set for day 3 and day 4, just because they are seeing what I am seeing. And so as we progress through, this front is going to move through quickly up into Canada and New England, and then we're going to kind of clear out again, and we're going to have a lot of high pressure coming in the middle of the week next week on the 27th. And it's going to be pretty much across the country is going to be pretty nice on the 27th and 28th, except for you got California starting to come in with another wave. And this one kind of concerns me too because it's coming in. Again, it's going to do something very similar than what the last one did. On the 28th, 29th, we're going to have some showers and storms out off the coast on the East Coast. But we've got that front coming in onto California shores. And again, it's going to strengthen. And it all depends on where it goes. It's starting to dive down, according to this, down into Nebraska, Colorado, Oklahoma area on the 29th, 28th, 29th. And it's going to, again, as you can see how the millibars here are really, really close together. So that's going to bring in a lot of wind, and it's going to start pulling that moisture up again from the Gulf of Mexico. And then we've also, if you're paying attention, we've got another wave coming in on the California coast and the West Coast again. This one off in the Atlantic is really going to be more of a fish storm than anything else at this point in time. It's already come off the coast, so I don't think we have a lot to worry about with that. But as we progress on, we're going to get some snow, some freezing rain possibly up in Wisconsin, Michigan, and then we've got that front coming through the Midwest again. I don't know how bad this is going to be right now. It's a little bit less severe looking than it was the other day. But as it comes through and moves on about its business, this one out here to the west, again, is catching our attention as it is strengthening, and it's setting up in a position that's going to really bring in some moisture and with snow north and west of it. And as we look across the Midwest, again, we're going to have some significant chance of some severe weather around April Fool's Day, April 2nd, as it goes through. And then the northern area on New England is going to get hit with some snow and some freezing rain potentially. Now, these all change. These are pretty far out in advance. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of scroll past this a little bit. First part of April looks like it's pretty good, although we could have some Gulf of Mexico action. Again, this is way out in the future, so it's not something that I'm overly concerned about right now. But let's go ahead and get out to the 7th. So this is the last frame that I have got, and this is going to be actually, if you look up in the top corner up here, if you can see it, that shows you the dates and the times. Now, this is Z time, which is 7 hours for the Midwest, 8 hours for Central, 9 hours for Mountain, 10 hours out from the West Coast time. So at 6Z, we're really looking at 11 p.m. on the 6th. So as you could tell, we've got a little bit of a low pressure here on the 6th and starting into the 7th. It's right here around that panhandle of Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, in the plains area. And right now we just don't have enough info that's going to tell us that, yeah, this is solid and this is what's going to happen. So we're going to keep an eye on that really close. Remember, we do have the eclipse coming up on 4/8, and that is going to be basically, and I'm a terrible artist here, but it's going to be basically kind of in a path like this, about a 150-mile path. And where I am in Indiana, they're talking about hundreds of thousands of people coming in to see the eclipse. And I'm actually a paramedic, and so they also taught to us about, the amount of people and so on and so forth, and we're going to have to be prepared and so on. But I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. It's just an eclipse, but, you've got a lot of people out there. So that being said, I just want to make sure that you guys are all aware of what's going to happen in the future. The day 3 and day 4 forecasters is keep an eye on it, and I'm going to probably post another video this weekend just to see what's going to happen. And I want you to just be weather aware. Don't be upset or nervous. I mean, it's springtime. We have weather. It's going to happen. I'm going to be here to try to give you a heads up on what's going to happen down the future so that you know that in 3 and 4 days we're going to have a severe weather chance. And so whether it's here in Indiana or whether it's out in Texas or someplace else, I'm going to be trying to give you that information. I ask you to like, subscribe, and share this information. Let's get it out to as many people as we can. Pay attention to your local forecasts, and I will touch base back with you this weekend, and we'll see if we can't get a better update on the eclipse and a better pinpoint of day 3 and day 4 for today, which we'll have more information coming up on a couple of days on the forecasts. All right, any questions, you always put them in the comments below. I'll try to answer all of them I can, and I will see you guys real soon. Have a good weekend.